Thank you for joining us for this short tutorial to support you with how to evidence your graduated approach to meeting the needs of children and young people with SEND. If you have yet to explore the Wolverhampton Inclusive Schools for Everyone webpage on the local authority website, please take the time to do so. Although the SEND Code of Practice does not explicitly require schools to have an individual education plan for pupils with SEND, it does stipulate the need to evidence the support implemented by the school so that it can be shared with the pupil and their family. 6.73. Schools should particularly record details of additional or different provision made under SEND support. This should form part of regular discussions with parents about the child's progress, expected outcomes from the support and planned next steps. They should ensure that they have an accurate information to evidence the SEND support that has been provided over the pupil's time in the school, as well as its impact. The local authority have created a SEND support plan template to ensure that all relevant information is captured and recorded in one place that is accessible for parents and carers. This can be located on the WISE website in the download sections. For the purpose of this tutorial, we will be referring to the Wolverhampton My SEND support plan template and guidance as a way of evidencing your graduated response for pupils at SEND support and with an EHCP. It is appreciated, however, that schools may take a different approach to how they record their graduated response, including online tools, and may call their document a different name, such as an individual learning plan or an individual education plan. Using the Wolverhampton My SEND support plan is a recommendation from the local authority and is not compulsory. However, it is advised that schools ensure their own documents or methods of recording capture the same quality and extent of information. Having opened the My SEND support plan, you will see that the cover page allows you to record the personal details of the pupil, in this case Kat, including key information such as her primary area of need. As Kat has a diagnosis of autism, we can record this as ASD on the plan. We can also indicate whether the child has an EHCP or if they are at SEND support using the checkbox. It is useful to record attendance. In this case, Kat's attendance is very good at 97%. However, if it is below 95, you may wish to liaise with the pastoral team or attendance champion to ensure the appropriate support is in place. The My SEND support plan offers the option to record the social care status of the pupil, as well as highlighting when other plans need to be considered when reviewing the document, such as a personal education plan or individual healthcare plan. It is important to record on the plan when it was agreed and when the review is due. A plan number can also be useful to help to show how many cycles of assess plan do review the pupil has received. Following the cover page, the plan moves on to a one-page profile. Many settings may have this as a separate document. However, by including it in as part of the My SEND support plan, it ensures that a one-page profile is regularly reviewed and updated. For further information on how to create a high-quality one-page profile that is accessible and can be easily shared with everyone who comes into contact with a pupil, then download the My SEND support plan guidance document available on the WISE website. Moving down the My SEND support plan to the Parent Carer Voice section. The focus is now on capturing and recording the voice of the parent carer. It is important to ensure there is evidence within SEND support plans of how parents have contributed and been involved in the decision making. This section begins with the journey so far, to record key milestones in the pupil's journey. It is important to ensure there is a record of when concerns were first raised, as section 6.39 of the SEND Code of Practice advises. Schools keep a record of early discussions held with families and ensure these are shared with parents. Dates of referrals and involvements with specialists such as SNEES and Health, as well as any multi-agency meetings and the issuing of an EHCP can also be recorded as part of the journey so far. The next part of the My SEND support plan captures the parents' hopes, dreams and aspirations for their child, with a focus on preparing them for adulthood. In Chapter 8 of the SEND Code of Practice, it highlights that discussions about longer-term goals should start early and ideally well before Year 9. The National Team for Inclusion, the NDTI, their website has a range of resources around preparation for adulthood, and the Council for Disabled Children has a helpful booklet titled Outcomes Across the Age Ranges for Children and Young People with SEND. Even though Kat is only in reception, conversation with parents about aspirations from her can be structured around these 4 areas of preparation for adulthood. This helps to ensure there is a holistic discussion around Kat's strengths and needs, which goes beyond her academic capabilities and can be used to support target setting in the next section of the plan. For example, Kat's parents want her to be independent at using the toilet, and this has been taken into consideration when setting her targets. You will see from the target section that the mySEND support plan uses a similar format to the Wolverhampton Education Psychology Service and Specialist Learning Support Teams, target, monitoring and evaluation forms, often referred to as TMEs. It is good practice that 3 targets are agreed for the pupil for each stage of assess plan do review. Therefore, there are 3 target boxes provided. The target should be agreed with the family and should be based around the child's and parents' aspirations to ensure it is in the child's best interests. When a child has an EHCP like Kat, the long-term outcomes from the EHCP should be broken down into smaller steps to identify termly targets that will help them get closer to achieving those long-term outcomes. As mentioned previously, the family's aspirations for Kat to become independent when toileting have been taken into consideration, so that a target has been agreed to support her to achieve this. To ensure it is time-bound, all targets should begin with when you expect them to be achieved. In this instance, by the end of the summer term. We then identify the skill that we want Kat to be able to develop or master. Kat will be able to use the object of reference, the toilet paper, to communicate when she needs the toilet to a familiar adult. By including 50% of the time, this makes the target measurable. We cannot expect Kat to start doing this consistently, and the target is finished by sharing what it will make possible for Kat and how it prepares her for adulthood, so that she can become more independent with toileting. For each target, you will indicate where you expect the pupil to be by the time of the review, which in this case is the end of the summer term. As we have suggested, Kat will be successful for 50% of the time. We put the T in the 5. We also need to show Kat's baseline, in other words, where she is now. We use a B to show that she currently does not do this, and a comment to describe the current situation. As the Code of Practice stipulates, a target or outcome is the benefit or difference made to an individual as a result of an intervention. Therefore, it is imperative that we record the targeted provision that will be implemented to support Kat to achieve this target. We can record this in the support section beneath each target by including the frequency and duration of the provision, and who will be delivering it ensures that staff working with Kat can be held accountable for her progress. Finally, at the review meeting, you will be able to show what Kat has achieved using an A. There is again space for a comment to explain the extent of progress. This should include both schools and home's perspective. In this instance, Kat has exceeded her target and is making good progress in both school and at home. Schools should avoid duplicating targets when a child has not fully achieved them. As part of the review process, there should be an opportunity to unpick why there has been limited progress and identify what changes will need to be made to the provision as a result. It is suggested that this cycle of assess, plan, do review takes place over a term. However, if the pupil is making limited progress, then this cycle may take place over a shorter period with more frequent reviews. The next section is an opportunity to record any discussion around Kat's progress as part of the review. The final section records agreed actions from the meeting, including those for any specialists, and there is an opportunity to identify any support for the family, including signposting to services such as the EP services, parent carer consultation. This concludes our tutorial around evidencing your graduated response. For further guidance around a graduated response within a Wolverhampton school, refer to the Wolverhampton Inclusive Schools for Everyone website. If more targeted support is required, then please reach out to the Send and Inclusion officers via their mailbox. Thank you for your time.